Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Amira Roslan. In this video, we talk about the recent news from the News Track Time regarding the monsoon effect to the price of vegetable and fish in Kota Bharu. The news reported that the price had doubled due to heavy rain, which would have significant impact to several parties, including the sellers and suppliers. So let us watch the following video to understand why the price of fish and vegetable increased throughout the monsoon season. Due to the monsoon season and rough seas, many fishermen have to stay on land, reducing the supply of fresh fish. Because of this, it's hard for the seller to get supplies, and they have to buy vegetable and frozen fish from other places. In this case, the seller was now buying vegetables that were brought in from Thailand and Cameron Highlands and obtained frozen fish from supplier at RTC. Due to the cost of transportation needed to get the supply, this will cause the cost of transportation to go up, which will cause the seller to charge a high price. As stated in the news, traders said suppliers were charging higher prices for the items. Check at Pasar Besar Siti Khadijah and Pusat Transformasi Luar Bandar RTC Tunjung shows that radish price jumped to RM10 per kilogram from RM5. Same thing happened with the price of chili kampung, cucumber and kangkung, which go up sharply during monsoon season. Selayang fish, which used to cost RM10 per kilogram, now cost RM20. And the price of fresh kerisi has gone up from RM10 to RM14. Let's say that the curve represents the supply of fish in the market. Because of the higher cost of transportation, there has been an increase in the price of inputs, and this will result in a reduction in supply. Notice that the decrease in supply will shift the supply curve to the left. The main key point from the illustration is that when the price of inputs goes up, the supply goes down, so the curve shifts to the left. Now we're putting the supply and demand curve together so we can find the market equilibrium at E1. As shown in the graph, the initial price is at P1 and the quantity of supply is at Q1. So based on this graph, we can start figure out what's going to happen to the price and quantity as the supply decrease. As previously mentioned, a decrease in supply will cause the supply curve to shift to the left. Then, new equilibrium will be established at E2 as the supply curve moves to the left. As we can see, the price would increase to P2 at the new equilibrium, while the quantity would decrease to Q2 in response to the change. So, from the previous explanation, now we understand why the price of selayang fish increased from RM10 to RM20 and kerisi fish increased from RM10 to RM14. All the price increase is due to the reduction of supply and changes in equilibrium. The main key point to remember is that when the supply curve shifts to the left, it creates a new equilibrium point that makes the price goes up but the quantity goes down. We all have ups and downs in life, and sometimes being in this kind of situations can be so discouraging that we might feel like giving up. In this example, when the monsoon hit, some fishermen can't make a living because they can't fish, and sellers are forced to pay more expenses to receive their supplies because of transportation costs are higher. But in Islam, Muslims are taught not to give up hope and not to blame fate for the miserable and poor conditions they were brought up in. Instead, we have to look for alternatives and solutions since Allah has commanded every capable individual to put forth the necessary effort in search of provisions, despite the fact that it is predetermined for everyone. The best way to overcome difficulties is not to lose hope, increase our dua, belief and tawakkul to Allah.
تسألهم خرجا فخراج ربك خير وهو خير الرازقين